How far do you think we've gone?
50 miles.
If we're almost to the woods.
Down. What? The cop car. There's no one in there. No way. Whoa!
It's What the Flick, everybody. It's Bibbs, it's Matt, it's Ben. I didn't see this movie. I wish I had. We doing Cop Car?
Yeah, we are doing Cop Car.
Totes Cop Car.
Cop Car, which I think opens in theaters on Friday the 7th and then opens on demand a week later, so you can wait and see it there. I did read that. I'm certain of it. It's Kevin Bacon's movie, and you guys liked it.
Yes, Cop Car is the story of these two kids that seem to be running away from home. They're probably 9. You never really exactly find out how old they are, but they're wandering around and they find an abandoned, or not abandoned, but they just find a cop car with no one in it, and then the keys are in it, and so they decide to go joyriding, which sounds funny, and it is funny, until it turns out they have stolen the worst possible cop car they could ever come across. Let's watch a clip.
This is our cop car! This is our cop car! See how fast we can go.
Sheriff, we just got a report of 2 kids driving a cruiser.
Boys, I know you can hear me. You are in a whole lot of trouble. What we're looking at is a felony offense. Did you open up the trunk?
Are you a bad guy, Sheriff?
I know where to find you.
Are you okay?
You don't steal a cop car!
Yeah, this film's, a lot of people talk about what this film is not. Like, it's not like, those dirt kids stole my car, and you throw your hat on the ground, and then they're wackily, going and drag racing and everything like that. This starts off kind of cute, and it goes into Cormac McCarthy territory. It gets really wonderfully dark, like really disturbing and shocking sometimes. There's scenes of kids playing with guns that some people are really going to have a hard time watching.
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't want to give too much away about what goes on in this movie, because I think this is a movie that really benefits from kind of not knowing too much.
Yes.
I felt like there were shades of Sam Peckinpah in here.
Oh, nice.
This, especially like the last 20, 30 minutes of this movie are as tense as anything I've seen all year. I mean, I was curled up, hiding behind my seat. This movie is terrifying in a way that horror movies aren't anymore. This is a really solid, very well executed movie. It's a little thin in places, I think, but it's sparse, it's cut down.
Yeah.
There's only a handful, there's maybe 6 characters that speak.
Yeah.
And it's great.
It's really stripped down, but it's stripped down to the essentials.
Yeah.
And they cut all the fat off of this movie. Anything that isn't important isn't in there, and anything that is important is even really small. There's like extended sequences of like Kevin Bacon like loses his cop car. He's the corrupt sheriff. And he's stranded in the desert, and he's got to find his way out. And it becomes like, I interviewed Jon Watts, the director of this, and he said he was very inspired by Police Quest 2, the video game, which is one of those point-and-click adventure games where you have to just use whatever materials you have to solve puzzles. And there's a lot of that, of just people just like, oh, I'm stranded out in the desert. How do I siege somebody? And you figure it out. There's a lot of just people who aren't necessarily that smart trying to solve life or death problems. And it's really tense because it's really simple, and you can see yourself in the same situation.
A great appearance from Shea Whigham.
Oh, yeah.
Who people recognize from Agent Carter. He's really good in this.
Oh, yeah.
And brief appearance by
Camryn Manheim.
Camryn Manheim.
Yeah.
This is a great movie. It's a must-see.
Yeah, I'm going to see it as soon as I can. I'll probably end up seeing it on demand. I'm just curious whether, and I don't know whether this is true, and I'm not just trying to pointlessly interject myself here, but whether this is like,
sure, you're not.
Are we perhaps at the beginning of some run of films where cops are more menacing than they have traditionally been.
I think if you look carefully, you'll see that cops have always been this menacing at some point. The idea of a corrupt police officer has always been good drama.
I got you. No, there've been plenty of
No,
corrupt
but
cops.
listen, between this and
maybe
Straight Outta Compton, which I just saw last night, like, yeah.
Well, even
You
Superman
might have a-
comics are
like
doing
that,
it now.
so I mean, cops there've always been menacing and corrupt cops. Have obviously we can go back there all over every noir ever made, but maybe a paucity of your traditional good guy cop movies.
You
I don't
know,
know. I bring it up only because obviously we've all seen what's happened and seen how
Yeah.
the regular people have reacted to what's happened in the world over the last.
I think in
couple
the
years.
last years we've seen consistent news and consistent stories that are more visible and we're more aware of than I think we had in the past. I think that we may be, to your point about seeing a series of that, we may be another 9-10 months off based on how long it takes
to get
a
stuff
movie to get
up.
made. But it is interesting that between this one and, although this is a cop that is more corrupt than abusing his power, whereas in Straight Outta Compton, those are cops abusing their authority. And so I think that it kind of depends on how you look at it. I think that the theme of cops abusing their authority being part of a movie is going to be, that's what we're going to see that months from now.
All right.
Yeah.
So you guys give your numbers yet?
Cop Car, I give it an 8.5. This is a truly excellent crime thriller that doesn't. Yeah, it totally stands on its own. It's a new entity. And I admire it.
I give it an 8. This is a movie that's terrifying. Again, a little thin in places, but I really liked it.
That's an 8.3 from us. It is currently at a surprisingly low 73% on Rotten
Surprisingly low,
Tomatoes.
73.
It's
That's good.
okay. I just figured people would be digging this even more. So see it. We loved it. So check it out.